You ever notice this obsession people have with owning land, my property, my piece of the earth, my castle? Oh, really, your castle, you bought it, signed some papers, shook some hands, and now it's yours forever, huh? That's cute, that's adorable. You think you own dirt. You think you own a chunk of rock that's been here for 4.5 billion years, and will be here 4.5 billion more. Give or take a few volcanic tantrums. You own it, really. Try telling that to the ants. Try telling that to the worms. They're under there, laughing their little worm asses off at your mortgage statement. Oh, look, Harold thinks he owns the lawn. Quick, crawl up his pant leg. See, you don't own the land. You never did. You're leasing it from Mother Nature, and she doesn't take checks. She takes it back whenever she feels like it. You think your property is safe because you've got a deed in the filing cabinet. A deed? That's just a piece of paper some guy with a bad haircut at the county clerk's office printed out for you. It's not ownership, it's a hall pass. The earth is letting you hang out for a while, maybe plant some tomatoes if you're lucky. But if a hurricane rolls through, guess what? Your tomatoes are salsa, and the bank doesn't take salsa as a payment. People act like their homes are permanent. I bought my forever house. Forever house. The termites didn't get that memo. The termites are looking at your forever house like it's an all-you. Can eat Buffett. You're thinking long. Term equity. They're thinking dinner. And they've got a better chance of winning because you'll die someday. But they'll keep munching wood until the sun explodes. And don't even get me started on the insurance companies. You've got this ownership. Right. But the first time a tree falls on your roof, you realize you're not the boss. You're just a nervous tenant paying rent to an insurance company that never shows up on time. And the tree doesn't care about your zip code, your neighborhood watch program, or your freshly painted shutters. That tree was standing there before you got here, and it'll still be lying across your driveway long after you're gone. Ownership is a human invention. It's a trick we play on ourselves so we feel important. You think a hawk cares who owns the land. You think a raccoon gives a damn about your property lines. They're climbing your fence, digging through your garbage, throwing a block party in your yard, and you're standing there with a flashlight like, this is my property. The raccoon doesn't care. To him, you're just the weird guy who left pizza crust in the trash can. It's all temporary. You buy a house. You fix it up. You put in a little garden. This is mine. This is my backyard. And then, bam, along comes a flood. And the flood says, no, pal, this isn't yours. This is the river's. Always was, always will be. You were just squatting. You ever notice people talk about property values, like they're some kind of sacred scripture? Oh, the property value is up. The property value is down. You know what determines property value, whether or not the earth feels like behaving that year. That's it. If the ground stays put, congratulations, your property is worth something. If the ground slides down a hill, suddenly you're 3. Bedroom dream home is a 1. Bedroom convertible with a scenic view of the ravine. And don't even think about the bank. The bank owns your ass. You're sitting there every month writing checks, thinking you're building equity. No, you're building their new golf course. They own it until you pay them back. And when you do, they pat you on the head, say, congratulations, champ, you're a homeowner now. You're not a homeowner, you're a hostage. You're a hostage with throw pillows and a mortgage. The funniest thing is cemeteries. People go out and buy a plot of land to be buried in. A burial plot, they're dead, but they still think they own a piece of the planet. This is where I'll spend eternity. Eternity, you won't last 3 generations before somebody builds a strip mall on your eternal resting place. Here lies Harold, beneath the frozen yogurt shop. And that's the cosmic joke. We're fighting over dirt. We're drawing little lines on maps, putting up fences, calling it mine. All while the earth is spinning through space, laughing at us. The earth doesn't belong to you, me, or anybody. You belong to it. You're the temporary tenant, the overnight guest, the house-sitter who'll be gone before the weekend's over. The dirt was here before you, and it'll be here after. So the next time someone tells you they own property, remember this: you don't own land, pal. The land owns you. You ever notice how people are obsessed with space? Not outer space, not the stars and galaxies, no, no, no. We're not that ambitious. I'm talking about personal space, living space, storage space. People are addicted to space the way some folks are addicted to donuts. They just can't get enough, and it doesn't matter how much they have, they always want more. You got a little apartment, you want a bigger one. You got a house, you want a bigger one. You got a big house. Now you want a vacation house. And if you get the vacation house, you start thinking about a little cottage by the lake. And then you need a cabin in the woods. And then you need a condo in Florida for the winter. Before you know it, you've got 5 houses and you can't remember where you left your pants. It's insane. The whole species is running around like demented squirrels, looking for bigger and better nests. And the nests aren't even for living, really. They're just for storing crap. That's what most of it is, storing crap. You get more space so you can buy more crap, and then when you run out of space, you rent space from somebody else to put the extra crap you didn't need in the first place. Storage units, what a concept! Paying good money every month so you can lock up a bunch of things you don't use, don't see, and will forget about until your kids have to throw it all out when you die. And they'll throw it out, believe me. They won't want your 1972 beanbag chair collection. They won't care about your boxes of old Reader's Digest. They'll call a guy with a truck, and boom, your life's treasures are on their way to the dump. But until then, you're renting a 10 by 10 metal box to babysit your valuables. And you can't blame people entirely because society feeds it to us. Every commercial is about space. Open concept living, spacious design, more square footage. You know what square footage really means. More room for you to trip over your treadmill when you stop using it after 3 weeks. More room for dust to accumulate in the corners you'll never clean. More room to store Christmas decorations you'll only take out once a year and then spend 6 hours trying to untangle the lights. Think about the average house. You got the kitchen, the living room, the dining room. Fine, people use those. But then you got the guest room for guests who never show up. You got the basement, full of boxes from 3 moves ago. You got the attic, where spiders go to retire. And you got the garage, which was originally designed to hold cars, but now it's where old bicycles and broken lawnmowers go to die. The car. The car is out in the driveway, getting rained on, because your garage is too busy holding a ping-pong table you haven't touched since Reagan was in office, and people just keep expanding. You got folks with McMansions. 40 rooms, 6 bathrooms, 2 kitchens, and 3 living rooms. You ask them why, they say, well, what if the family comes to visit? The family, how many relatives do you got, and why would they all show up at the same time? What is this, a biblical migration? You don't need that much space. You need a living room, a bedroom, and a bathroom. Everything else is optional. Everything else is just extra real estate for dust mites and cable wire. But the real kicker is, people still don't feel like it's enough. You give them space, they'll fill it, always, like goldfish. Put a goldfish in a little bowl, it stays small. Put it in a big tank, it grows. Humans are the same way. You put them in a studio apartment, they keep it minimal. You put them in a 4000 square foot house, suddenly they're at the mall every weekend buying ottomans, accent tables, and beanbag chairs just to keep the place from echoing. They can't stand the emptiness. You give a person an empty room, they start twitching. We need something for this wall. We need a rug in here. We need a lamp. We need a second lamp just in case the first lamp feels lonely. And don't forget closets. Closets used to be a little hole with a couple of hangers. Now people got walk-in closets. Walk-in. A closet you can actually walk into. That's not a closet. That's a spare bedroom for your shirts. You got people whose shoes have more square footage than their first apartment. And they'll still stand there in the morning saying, I have nothing to wear. Well, maybe that's because your wardrobe looks like a department store exploded. The endless chase for space never stops. You get a house, you want a yard. You get a yard, you want a bigger yard. You get a bigger yard, now you want a pool. You get a pool, now you want a hot tub. You get the hot tub, now you want a pool house. It's like a chain reaction of nonsense. And eventually you spend your whole life maintaining property you don't even have time to enjoy. People are out there mowing lawns every Saturday, trimming hedges, painting fences, cleaning gutters. They don't own a home, the home owns them. They're the groundskeepers for their own prison, and let's not forget vacation homes. People buy vacation homes to get away from their regular homes. Think about that. Their regular house is so stressful, so full of space and stuff, that they need another house to escape to. And then what happens? The vacation house becomes another burden. Now you're fixing 2 roofs, paying 2 sets of taxes, cutting 2 lawns, and dealing with 2 sets of neighbors who won't shut up about their barbecues. Congratulations, you've doubled your headaches. That's not a vacation, that's a side hustle. The truth is, no matter how much space you get, it's never enough. You'll always want more. It's like chasing a shadow. Every time you move toward it, it moves further away. You're never satisfied because the whole thing is based on a lie. The lie that happiness comes from square footage. Happiness doesn't come from square footage. It comes from not giving a damn about square footage in the first place. You want real space, you don't need another house. You need peace of mind, but nobody's selling that down at the real estate office. They'll sell you a condo with a balcony. They'll sell you a ranch with an acre of land. They'll sell you a rise with a view of the city. But they won't sell you peace of mind, because peace of mind doesn't come with a mortgage. It comes with realizing you don't need all this crap. And that's the cosmic joke. People keep chasing more and more space, filling it with more and more junk, until eventually the only space they really need is 6 feet by 3 feet in the ground. You ever step back and look at this whole thing we call property, and realize the entire system is one big cosmic gag? That's all it is. A long, running prank the universe has been pulling on us, and we're the punchline. Because here's the setup. The Earth is 4.5 billion years old. It's been spinning, wobbling, cooking, freezing, flooding, erupting, shaking, cracking, and crashing for eons. It's survived meteor showers, ice ages, tectonic shifts, whole species coming and going. And then here comes Larry with a suit and tie and a ballpoint pen, saying, I own lot 17B, block 6, parcel 4. Really, parcel 4? That's like walking into the ocean, dipping your toe in the surf, and yelling, this wave is mine. Look at the scale of it. You've got this giant planet flying through endless space, a tiny dot circling a bigger dot, and we're down here arguing about who gets the patch of lawn next to the gas station. That's the human race. The cosmos is infinite, and we're bickering over whose mailbox is 6 inches over the property line. And the best part, none of it lasts. You buy property, you put up a fence, you write a will, you pass it to your kids, and eventually the ground shifts, the weather changes, and the dirt goes right back to where it wanted to be in the first place. Think about how temporary it all is. You own a house, congratulations. You get, 60, 70 years in it if you're lucky. And then what? The house gets sold, remodeled, bulldozed, turned into a strip mall, or maybe a parking lot. Your forever home is just a future dollar store with a leaky roof, the joke's on you, and it's not just houses. People actually fight over resources, property, minerals, water rights, the whole thing, as if we can keep it, as if the earth won't eventually shake us all off like a dog after a bath. You ever see a dog get out of the water, just whip its head around, spraying everything? That's the planet. We're just the fleas on its back, thinking we're running the show. The cosmic joke goes deeper, though, because property is one of the few things that makes people insane. People will sacrifice their lives, their time, their sanity, all for the illusion of ownership. You ever see somebody with a mortgage? They're not living, they're negotiating. They spend 30 years chained to a bank, counting interest rates like they're decoding the Dead Sea Scrolls. If I refinance here and pay 2 points there and roll over the equity, in 29 years I might own the kitchen. Meanwhile, the roof's leaking and the basement smells like mildew. That's not ownership, that's indentured servitude with landscaping. And then there's the endless obsession with property value. You've got these people checking the worth of their house every month like it's a stock portfolio. Oh, my property value went up. Went up according to who? A real estate agent. Some guy in a bad suit with hair gel and a clipboard walked around your block and decided your little wooden box is worth more this week. And you believe him. The whole thing is like monopoly money. You think you're rich because your house is worth more, but try eating it. Try cooking it for dinner. The second the ground shakes, your equity is drywall dust. It's especially funny when people get territorial. You've seen this, neighbors putting up fences, fighting over 6 inches of land, screaming, "This is my yard." No, it isn't. The yard isn't yours. The yard belongs to the weeds. The yard belongs to the dandelions. They'll be there long after you're gone. You mow them down, poison them, pull them out by the roots, and a week later they're back, laughing in your face. You can't beat weeds. They're the landlords of the planet. You know who else knows the joke? Animals. Watch animals. Birds don't care about property lines. They'll land on your roof, your car, your head if they feel like it. Squirrels don't care who owns the tree. They don't ask for a deed. They just run up and down the branches, bury their nuts, and move on. They're not arguing at the Squirrel Homeowners Association about leaf collection policies. They're living. They got it figured out. We're the dumb ones, paying taxes on land we can't even keep. Cemeteries are another punchline. People spend thousands of dollars buying a plot of land just to rot in. They dress it up. They call it a final resting place. Final? Nothing final about it. Cemeteries get moved all the time. Highways, shopping centers, developers. They dig up the dead and relocate them like they're renting. Sorry, Grandpa, you're getting evicted. We're putting in a new bowling alley. And what do you get for your trouble? A rock with your name on it. A rock, the planet's covered in rocks. You're just another one in the pile, and you can't even keep your property in death. You leave it to your kids, they fight over it, sell it, split it, lose it in a divorce, burn it down accidentally trying to fry a turkey. In a few generations, nobody even remembers it was yours. People brag, "I'm leaving my children a legacy." No, you're leaving them paperwork and arguments. Your legacy is a pile of bills and a half, dead ficus plant. The whole thing is hilarious when you zoom out. You've got an infinite universe, galaxies, stars, black holes, cosmic dust stretching forever in all directions. And here we are, these little primates on a spinning rock, waving pieces of paper at each other, yelling, "This is mine." You can almost hear the universe laughing. It doesn't care. It's too busy expanding. The Milky Way's got bigger things to do than worry about your condo association fees. And what's really wild is how short our stay is. You live maybe 80 years, 90 if you're lucky. In cosmic terms, that's a blink, not even a blink. That's a speck of dust in the corner of infinity, And yet we spend that blink fighting over lawns, mortgages, and zoning permits. We should be out enjoying the ride, soaking up the absurdity. Instead, we're haggling with the city about whether the shed in the backyard is 2 feet too tall. That's not living, that's bureaucracy cosplay. But maybe that's the real cosmic joke. We take it seriously. We actually believe in it. We think it's real, and maybe the universe set it up this way on purpose. Maybe the universe thought, you know what'll be funny? I'll make these little creatures, give them brains, let them discover fire, the wheel, language, and then, instead of enjoying themselves, they'll spend their entire lives arguing about imaginary lines drawn on dirt. That's comedy. Pure comedy. Universal level slapstick. And the punchline is waiting for all of us. Because no matter how much property you think you own, how much space you chase, how many fences you build, in the end, the planet always wins. You go back in the ground, you return to the dirt you thought was yours. And that's the big twist. You never owned the land owned you. From the day you showed up until the day you checked out, so next time you hear someone bragging about their real estate portfolio, their investment properties, their sprawling estate, just remember, it's all a setup, all a gag, all part of the big cosmic joke. Because, when it's all over, every single one of us gets the same piece of property, 6 by 3 feet.